Welcome on in, everybody. I'm just fixing my Stream Deck here really quickly. I I when I shut my computer off, it doesn't want to work right away. So like I have to like go into the app itself just to like restart it. So then I can actually hit my button and say hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day today. Happy Monday. We're going to attempt to finish Wax Heads today, even if it takes us quite a while today. But yeah, that's all that's new. Ended stream last night. Quickly ran downstairs to go and give my brother his eggs. Because my mom had brought eggs over to my house over the weekend, and I forgot to give them to him. So he got his eggs yesterday. And then I made the Costco. Oh my god. It's in the like pre-made meal section right by the rotisserie chicken. It's called beef ragu with gnocchi. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. I don't know what I was expecting from the beef, but it's actually like really tender and actually really nice. I was kind of just expecting like ground meat, ground beef in like the red sauce, but it was actually like chunks. So it was like really nice. I don't know how else to describe it other than chunks, but it was like good tasting. It's like it's great. I had leftovers again today. And I will probably be eating leftovers probably until Wednesday, if I had to guess. Because I live alone. And so that kind of pretty much just like lasts me an extended period of time. But it's really good. So, but yeah, that's all that's new. And then I had work today. Work was fine. Nothing too crazy. Other than I have a new patient who is like afraid to eat and swallow. So that is a fun time that I'm kind of like learning and dealing with and working with. And then my patience with one of my patients was very, very low today. I was not very patient with her. I was not patient with my patient. Because she's been very tearful over items that she doesn't need to be tearful over. It's like one moment extreme happiness to like crying in moments right after. So I did not have a whole lot of patience for her today. But actually she responded pretty well to me being like, okay, nope, it's time to work. Let's, move on. Put the get our stuff together here. Pretty much just being like, hey, you want to get out of here? We gotta work. So let's do it. And she did a lot better. So I'll take it today. What else? Nothing really. I just had a couple of patients that were just like really sleepy today, overly fatigued. Either just like didn't sleep well last night or just really just wanted to sleep the day away today. So, hopefully they don't give night shift too many problems. Because they may be up all night if they were sleeping all day. So there you go. It's fun stuff. It's like Spirit Week at my Tuesday, Friday building, and tomorrow is tie-dye day. I don't have any tie-dye. I don't think I've owned any tie-dye in 10 years now. But supposedly they're supposed to be making tie-dye shirts with the residents tomorrow. So I hope that they actually get to, like, that actually happens and they get to make tie-dye shirts tomorrow, which would be really cool. But I think I'm just gonna I have like a speech shirt that has like rainbow lettering on it. That I might just wear that instead. And then what else? What else was new? Oh, Friday is like where the building's pride colors. We were on Friday, we were really excited, us down in the gym. We were really excited that it was gonna be like, wow, like progressive, like where pride colors and is in like where rainbow. Knowing that we like work with old people who are sometimes racist and homophobic at times. But no, it was the building's pride. Because then my building is the first where it is a color. So we have to wear that color on Friday. But otherwise, that's it. That's all that's going on. I had a good time with bingo yesterday. I'm kind of like itching to do more bingo, as I mentioned. But we'll see how it goes. I might do some other kinds of bingo. I tried to look at that same site from yesterday, so the lockout.live site. They have an Animal Crossing one, but it is just villager hunting bingo of like the characters' faces, and it's not it's not like the last little bit of bingo that we did where there were like challenges within it that Allie had made up. So might see if I can make my own version of that and see if I can convince somebody to like run that with me and potentially submit it for Flame Fatales this year. Just doing bingo of all my favorite games all the time. So good stuff. I think that's all that's new. For real this time. I think that's all that's new. I mentioned it yesterday, but in case you weren't here during yesterday's stream, next week is Just Dance week. We are doing Just Dance every single day, Sunday through Saturday, raising money for St. Jude Children's Fund. I'm still taking ideas for incentives. So feel free to let me know if you have any ideas. You can put them in the Discord. And yeah, that's it. Let's do our crossword, shall we? After I check my, I gotta check my hoe energy, and I gotta check my princess. Oh, I thought yesterday was a really good day. Oh, okay, that makes up for it. It's too. I thought yesterday most of them were, 2 of them were in the 80s and the other one was in the 60s. And then just now today, I got 2 90s, and then that the last one was just a straight drop down. So it's fine. Alrighty. Also, BMO, congrats on first today. In case I did not say that earlier. Let me open up the daily games. And we'll go from there. Ooh. Hold up. Cross with Friends just got an update. I got what going in. You can now rate the crosswords. Whoa. Do you see? There's like little ratings in the corner. 4.5, 4.3. Whoa. Wild times. Oh, holy. You got 100% there. Okay. I didn't even realize what that number was. Jeez. We're gonna do the other daily games first, and then we'll do the crossword. And I'll put the link in the crossword. I was gonna say I'm gonna put the link to the crossword in a minute. It doesn't look like the LA Times one is uploaded yet, so we'll do the New York Times one for today. Oh, is this one of the... I hope it's not one of the ones where you have to, like, do double letters. I'm gonna get pissed off if there is. We'll see. Alrighty. Well, there's the link to the crossword for anyone that would like to join on in while we do our daily games. Yesterday was Diva. We're going with Bree. Because I'm still looking for Bree the Mouse. We haven't done that yet here. Hi, Heavy Dirty Souls. Welcome on in. Hi, Raiders. Is your username a reference to 21 Pilots? If yes, that's very cool. If not, also cool. But welcome on in, Raiders. Hello, my name is Lee. My pronouns are she, her. I play a lot of Stardew Valley and a lot of other cozy games as well too, and I like to speedrun them. So we're doing that as well too. Yes, I love them. I also love 21 Pilots. 21 Pilots is great. I saw them live for their... Which tour was that? Hold up. What was the one before this? No. It was before 2020. Trench. Got it. I saw them for their Trench tour back then. And that was really, really good. And I loved it. So, that one. But yeah. Wonderful, wonderful times. But welcome on in, Raiders. We're just doing our daily games, and then we're finishing a game called Wax Heads. Which is... It's really cute. It just came out last week on the 5th. The narrative behind it is it's a cozy punk narrative sim about working in a struggling record store. You chat to different characters with unique taste, explore a handcrafted record collection, fall in love with bands and their drama. There's a lot of drama in this game. Or just slack off with your colleagues. So you get to... They'll give you like a prompt, and you have to go around the record store to figure out what album it is that they want. And then you check out the album, and you add little stickers at the end. You can like look at every single one of the albums. You can play music on the jukebox. There's a couple of like other prompts within there too, where you have to like decorate a poster board with all the stickers there. You have to like organize all of the posters on the board so that none of them overlap. You see like live music shows. You're reading like magazine journals. It's really cute.
I'm Murray. One half of Patati
but the art is like really, really cool. So we have 2 more chapters to finish today. So we'll see how long that takes us. So, but yeah, that's what Wax Heads is. Heavy Dirty Souls, we do have a thing around here. It is called Hot People Raid and Run. So if you need to go and leave and take care of yourself, please make sure to go and do so. But I appreciate the raid and you bringing your community over to hang out with us. I truly appreciate it. First ever playthrough, and it's very fun. Oh, I love Stardew Valley. Also love the 1975 tee. I love them too. Me too. This is from their Still at Their Very Best tour, the most recent one. I've seen the 1975 and on healthy amount. I'm a big music nerd, so yeah, a record store. So there we go. Yes, Wax Heads, highly chat. Welcome on in as well. Alrighty, to the knuckle for the white and pink tour. Yes, I like it when they sleep, because they are or she is so beautiful, but yet so unaware of it. I think. Let's see if I got it right. Oh, I like it when you sleep, for you are so beautiful, yet so unaware of it. I changed the wording. There you go. It was very good. I like to sleep because, wow, so cool. Yeah, very cool. Alrighty. Our daily villager hunt first here. Bree, we got nothing. Fashion snooty. Let's try somebody completely opposite, which is who we usually go with, is Rolled. Not a jock, definitely male. We'll see. No fitness. Who would be somebody different? Not smug, but likes education. We at least figured that out. Not smug, so either cranky or lazy. Who would like either a red or a yellow color? Let's go Gaston. Cranky, okay, great. Definitely cranky. No brown, no orange, no blue, no black. Elegant, gorgeous, active, simple. So cool, cute. That's it. So it's probably just cool, isn't it? Huh. Who would like yellow? You. No. Okay, so it's not cool and simple. Just cool. Blue and red. So it's not red, it is yellow is one of the colors. Serrano. Fuck. Frank. We're just striking out every time, aren't we? Monty. 8 guesses. Whatever. Okay, yesterday I got blueprints in 3. So we start with the one that we always go with, which is Rumpus Room. Ooh, okay. So this is where we find out here. It's whatever the 4th rarity is. I think that's like actually rare. 4 entrances. And it's either free 99 or 2 diamonds. So I will guess there's not that many that have 4 entrances. So I am actually close. It's not an upgrade and it's not 3. But it is 4 entrances. Oh, we're really close. Okay, no cost to it this time. It is a red room. No, no, no. Is it archives? That's the only other one we got left, or weight room. Fuck. It's weight room. God dang it. I guessed wrong. No. Oh, it was archives yesterday. Shit. I should have known. I should have known. No. Okay. It is what it is. Alrighty. Let me make sure that the LA Times one isn't up yet. It's not. Alrighty. Here is the link to the crossword for anyone that is new here. We speedrun the crossword at the beginning of every stream. Our time to beat for Monday is 1 minute and 36 seconds. If you think you know an answer, you can click on that link in chat. Join on in. It'll give you a fun little nickname, like as I have previously mentioned. Mine is Thrifty Sea Snail. Wait, did I? Oh, no, we did. I don't know where I was going with that. Okay, hold up. Oh. Apparently I was still tabbed into the messaging thing. it won't let me just move up my camera. It's just being funky. Okay, whatever. Moving on. You can click on the link in the chat. You can actually type directly into the crossword itself, or you can drop whatever answers you would like in the chat, and I can read them and I can put them in. Either way. Our only rules for the crossword are don't hit reveal, because that'll spoil it for everybody. You can use check as much as you'd like, and then just don't start yet, because we're going to reset the puzzle and the timer. As stated, our time to beat for Monday is 1 minute and 36 seconds. Here is, again, the link to the crossword. And then we'll go from there. Alrighty, y'alls. We will take a swig and get speeding. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Animal that ranges llama. Thank you. Pointing as weapon. Aimed. Yeah, lumberjack's tool. That's gonna be an axe. Yep. Cameroon neighbor. Yell. Swear. Rankings of song popularity. Billboard. Something. Swells up. Number in 7. PB in chemistry. I don't know off the top of my head. Lead. Right? Own up. Fess. Freeze's opposite. Freeze's opposite. I don't know. Someone was so close with the spelling of this. I hope you know that. I don't know how to spell it though, so that's a problem. But it was not devours. Very close though. Take foully. Clears of charges. A million gazillion. Movie production facilities with controlled acoustics. Sound stages. Leave stunned. Amaze. Monk's counterpoint. Spa service, petty. That is so funny. Haha. Braid. It's called a plait. Insignificant amount. Drop in the bucket. Where else are we missing? Unearthed. Oop, dug up. Where are we missing? This one. Harked. Nice! 1 minute and 45 seconds. Holy shit, y'alls. We were on it today. Let's go. Fuck yeah, y'alls. Sign in and rate this puzzle and help surface the best ones for everyone. Damn. Makes me suddenly want to be... suddenly want to, start a new... cross with friends hobby where we're rating the crosswords every day. Goodness. 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 I nicked my ankle this weekend. So it's like partially like bruised, and there's also like a small scar from where I like nicked my ankle. I hit it on a door. It wasn't like a shaving nick or anything. It was like I fully like hit it on a door and it like cut off part of my skin. And so I keep messing with it because it's like right here on my ankle. So yikes. Also, hi Tyra, hi Jess, hi Alexa, welcome on in, y'alls. Yeah, big pain. Battle scars from drinking. Yeah, I did have a little bit. Sounds like a drinking related nick. Okay. It was a heavy door. Okay. I'm just gonna say that. It was a heavy door. I tried to pull the door open to get a picture. Okay. Didn't run into the door. No. Let me make sure there's no identifying information in here. Where you could tell what kind of... You can't tell me that that picture's not worth it with that sunset. Oh, it went away. Focus! God dang it. Nice. Worth. Fuck. Come on, camera. There we go. You can kind of see it there a little bit better now. Of the marina. So, I had pulled the door open and I slightly tripped / it caught the edge of my foot as I was going through the door. Or the opposite of me coming back in and it hit my foot and I closed it on my foot, which was a little stupid, but it is what it is. I was fine. I've lived. But it is what it is. Also, hi Archie. Hello Elephant. Welcome on in, y'all. It is what it is. Hi Lisa. Welcome on in. Hello, y'all. It was the bottom corner, right? I think. I can literally just go look at the past VODs to see where my camera is. Bottom corner, yeah. Sick. Alrighty. Of course the blue hair is Nia. Her name is not Nia. Her name is T. That one. But Nia is a video game rapper in this game. I'll show you. Like the name for Nia. Okay, so this is side D. So we have side D and side E left to do. And then we're finished with the game. Again, as I previously mentioned, we work in a record store. This is in a struggling record store. Our goal is when the customers come in, we read what they are looking for and we go search for the record that they want. And then also listen to all the tea and all the drama from everybody else. This is Paul. This is one of my coworkers. Oh my god, I can't stand those roadworks. Sigh. Anyway, hey kid, how's it going? All good. Yeah, I think it actually is. Ever since we were at the Apple Bed to see Girl Junk, feels like morale has lifted. Even T has managed to shift some stock. This is our boss Morgan over here. Yeah. The numbers are moving. It's a good hustle. We just have to keep doing everything we can. Well, about that. If you would consider selling Willow. Anyway, things to do. Record store to open. Context, Morgan used to be in a band with her younger sister and 2 other people. One of those people happened to be her boyfriend at the time. They were really popular, really successful in that band. They split up. Her and her boyfriend go opposite ways. Boyfriend starts dating her sister. Sister starts her own, solo album. And Morgan now owns this record shop. So, and part of the lore is that Morgan does not stock any of her sister's records in the store. That's apparently how bad of blood they have. There's really a lot of people asking after. I said store, open, now. Sigh. Listen to me, I sound like Hank right now. We've come such a long way in such a short space of time, but we've only got 6 weeks left until Dan kicks us out. So Morgan's right. We need to do everything we can. But Willow is really the one topic Morgan won't budge on. I even tried writing Willow myself to ask her not to buy Repeater. But she probably didn't even read it, right? Nothing we can do, I guess. Let's just keep doing our best? Yeah. Alrighty. Here's the little social media app. Visiting my own hometown this weekend, and holy hell, saw this local band Girl Junk play. They were so good. Definitely one to watch. There we go. And then Walking the Cow, which is the music article. Jarhead verdict finally declared. Jarhead found not guilty in murder charge. Convoluted and embarrassing episode of misadventure involving a children's play area and copious amounts of cough syrup. Oh! There we go. We can also... Ooh, here. Suffering Jukebox. Let's play... This is my favorite one. Ooh, wait, we haven't played this one yet. What is this one? And then add that one to the queue. Well, you said it, honey. Nothing for it but to go all out. And not to toot my own horn, but my best is pretty damn good. Let's open Repeater. Alrighty. How's it going? Don't you just love a good chat? I'm a real chatterbox me. But also, I love me some electronic music. Buzzing in the club, listening to good tunes, chatting away with friends. And recently, I've been really into Shy Robot. All that mystery and intrigue, it's very cool. It's all about the music. No ego, only the substance, you know? Do you think you have something else like that you could recommend? Something like Shy Robot that sounds electronic and mysterious. The Oi Ois, pint, and a packet of crisps. Don't think it's that one. I'll be honest. The Weird Knot. Oh, it's a new week, so there's new, there's new music in the shops. We gotta figure out what's here. Still those ones. There's this one. Maria Estrella. Cool. This is Robbie Dare. He Who Dares, which is the not great one. It's only $5 though. So. Oh, the Brick Dog albums are over here now. That is true. If you do watch an IRL stream for 15 minutes this week, you get an IRL batch, which is pretty cool. Singing Brick Dog's masterful second album, getting a beautiful remaster. Oh, and then there's a new Sister album. Cave Coven. This is Nia Pixel. So this is Nia. She's a video game artist. There's a cheat code for Plonko on the back. Plonko Night, apparently. But all about like video game music. Ooh, Lunar Break. Chilling, alienating, and dangerous. Suzuki heads out here. What's the Claudia album? I think I would recommend that one for him. Let's try that one, the Claudia album. Fire, fire, fire. Yes. Because I'm pretty sure Claudia is Nice. Yeah, I like Claudia. Great call. I didn't realize her album was out yet. These new underground DJs, they just get it. You don't need to show your face. It's just all about the music, the vibes, and dancing. Nothing else. Cream. So if we do it successfully, we get a rad. If the album is like close to what they want, then it's just okay. And if they don't like it, then it's bad. It's the waffle guy again. Couldn't you tell? We're playing in the final against the replacements. I hope we don't lose. Picking up a song will get the crowd chanting along to motivate us to win. Remember, it needs to be something that everyone will know and can sing along to. It needs to be poppy and upbeat. Oh, really? Huh. I'm only a child. I don't know about that. It has to be something fairly recent. A recent big hit, maybe? Or, I don't know. Fine. It should be football related. That's specific enough? Huh. I guess it is. Well, there you go. Grown up. Think you can find the perfect football anthem for us? Perfect football anthem? I'm assuming it's one of these. Football absorbed anthem headers. There we go. Got it. And it's on sale. Nice. Congrats, grown up, but Dad, is this really appropriate for a kid's football game? I guess he thinks it is. I guess he does. Break a leg? Sorry, poor choice of words. They never lose. Alrighty, we did good. To Girl Junk. One of our coworkers, this is Abby, runs the band Girl Junk, but because their bassist got sick, Abby filled in, which is really cute. God, it would be so much easier if I wasn't trying to fight this whole town to save what I care about. Ted from Too Bright messaged me just now to ask if you should say yes to an interview with Clive Roderson. Oof, yeah, isn't he a total hack? It's true, the boys at Too Bright are worried that it sends the wrong message. And I get what they're thinking, but it's actually a good way to raise awareness. There are no street-only clubs either. It's making the neighborhood look unattractive to investors. Too Bright is the gay club. I can't do anything about what people say, but I don't have to be alone with it. That's the whole point of community. The whole point of Too Bright. I've been working a lot. I am glad I'm now in a position to help others, but it's a lot. Regardless, we soldier on, huh, kid? Yep. Hello, esteemed peer. Here inside the vestibule of the grand tradition of collecting, I come here to make a searing admission. My prize record collection, categorizing them by studio recording location, and I made a start in discovering my collection is seriously lacking in strong female representation. Who has historic stature? Ooh. Right there, done. I hope this is the right one. I've never heard of her, but I can't wait to discover more. That's the beauty of treasures like these. They become honored guests in our collections. It truly looks like a real gem. Yes. Success. Well, kid, nearly closing time. Ding dong. Oh, this is the ex-boyfriend. This is James. Oh, not you. Is that how you treat all your customers? Actually, don't answer that. It probably is. Customers are people who buy things, James. But I am. I'm still very interested in buying this store. Well, we've been over that, and it'll be over my dead body, so that if there's nothing... I see you've been talking to Willow. Congratulations. Excuse me? Someone told her I'm trying to buy Repeater. I have no idea what you're talking about. But if you don't want to own up to your own bullshit, that's on you. Just leave me and my store out of it. Unless, what is it, James? Worried Willow finally came to her senses and realized what a pitiful piss stain you are? True. Hi, Stack and Tiger. Welcome on in. Grr. God, you're so insufferable, even after all these years. Smug then, as you are now. Whatever. You're embarrassing yourself, James. Embarrassed? Me? No. No, what I'm doing is winning, Morgan. I'm goddamn winning. Do you have any idea what it feels like to have every one of my achievements, all of my brilliance, all of my potential kept stuck behind your shadow? To be doomed to forever have to talk about becoming Violet and how you pissed it all away? Well, no more. I'll change the landscape of music itself if I have to. And erase any trace left of becoming Violet. Oh yeah? And what about Willow? Willow? I own Willow. The glory is mine, Morgan. You sad little man. Music isn't about glory. That's why you're trying to sell people this AI shit. You'll flog anything to have your name on it, even my goddamn sister. Spare me. You're a washed up has-been who runs away when it gets hard. While you were holed up somewhere crying about writer's block, I was surviving, cutting my teeth, making a name for myself. Face it more. You're standing still. You're nothing but a footnote. And after I take your store, that's all you'll ever be. To me and her. Hey, so when I went through the stock, oh. TikTok. Oh no, what did I miss? I'm going home. Kid. Ooh. Poor Morgan. That was an awful conversation. Time to close up. Hey kid, what's up? Shutter's not opening? That's weird. Maybe it's stuck. Let me try the staff room door. What's going on? Why are we waiting outside? The shutters are stuck? Stuck how? Paul's gone to have a look. What's taking him so long? Hurry up, Paul. I can't open the staff door either. What? Okay, let me try. Someone put new locks on. What the? Yeah, those locks look way different. You know what the locks look like? Who cares? We can't get in. Do you think Landlord Dan just changed them? I better just call Morgan. Hang on. Well, told you. No more Repeater. And he told me to come in today. What a waste of time. She's not answering. What the hell? Well, I'm not gonna stand around in the cold until Morgan gets her butt on the phone. I'm leaving. Well? Yeah, I don't have a better idea. Just don't panic. Don't post anything on Phonogram about it. It'll be fine. Just take a day off. That's it? What do you want me to do? Sorry, there's nothing else you can do for now. Whatever. Sounds good to me. Again, it's gonna be fine. I hope. We just leave like that? We don't like try and crack the code or anything? What is this? Ew! I don't like this. Welcome to your shift, employee 485. Please recite the company motto for optimal emotional calibration. All hail the algorithm? Ew. May the algorithm feed us consumers. Remember that your duty is to the entertainment of now and the future of later. Emotion. Wait, why did I say that? It is time for profit as usual. Place your body into the designated sales area. Am I doing this right? This is my first time buying vinyl. I'm smiling. Your smile gives me reassurance. Wait, this is super weird. Tell me what to consume. No, just tell me what you want. So should I buy this or this? What does this mean? Yeah, what the hell does this mean? We all must consume. I won't consume anything by humans. Ew. Dove can still fly? Ew. Anything, everything, nothing, nothing, nothing. What? Prompt me, prompt me. Tell me, use me, direct me, subjugate me. Don't make me cry, prompt me. Begin. Don't falter. You're safe. Sit down. Allow me. Let us write for you. Let us play for you. Let us taste for you. Let us breathe for you. Let us be you. Let us. Ew. Yes, the optimal inoffensive medium. No creativity. You have done your job to satisfaction. Ugh. Hi, Mikey. Welcome on in. Memories. Bring me the memories. The third container. We used to play with our hands and our hearts. Morgan, our brightest star. We knew we were going to become something special. I think she knew it too. Willow's sweet voice. Everything felt so empowering. But then, everything became about power. It wasn't the music that shone the brightest anymore. Take me back to where it all went wrong. Maybe I can change it. The third container of becoming Violet memories. Oh. Press play, store opens. Hail the algorithm. The store is open. Hail the algorithm. Consume. The store is open. Ew. I hate this. Which one is the third album? I think this is it. Hi, Rig. Thank you for the for the tier 2 at 21 months. I truly appreciate it. Welcome back on Intel the Loser Club. I hope you enjoy your continued sub badge and your continued use of emotes out here. Which one is there? Can I read it? I want to read the description. This one? Yes, thank you. Maybe it's not too late to change. Okay, I was right. Whew. Close one. Okay. Hello. Ah, the brick and mortar store where it all began. Always good to see you, sir. Don't be so formal, employee 485. After all, we go way back. I gave you a number that only you have. Much better than just being the kid, isn't it? I'm not selling you shit. Now. There's no way out. Morgan gave up on you after all, because that's what she's good at. Giving up. Sickens me, 485. You know that? That someone like her could be so revered? Well, I, who tolls and slaves, ended up with only indifference. What does her music have that mine doesn't? Doesn't matter though, does it? I got the last laugh. It may have taken decades, but I never let myself forget. No one belittles the grunt. Let's have it, 485. Bring me the album of the winner. He wants his own record. Gross. So this is what he built. What my silence accomplished. Welcome. Is this your first time at Repeater 01? Oh, that's clever. So James turned Repeater into something that repeats, and repeats, and repeats. Why did you do this to us? I didn't do anything. I just let it happen. This is Willow. This is Morgan's sister. That's the one that was dating James. Now, all I have are regrets. You should have seen her when we were younger. I thought she was unstoppable. She said, everyone has a band now, and I believed her. Becoming Violet was her idea, but she knew I wanted to be convinced. We wanted to go out in the world, and she gave us a reason. I would have followed her anywhere. Please take me back to where it all began. Sigh. Yes, that is the one. So youthful, carefree. Maybe I could have done things differently. But has looking to your past ever fixed your future? Save us. Morgan, please get me out of here. This? There is no way out. This is James's stage, and we're putting on the show. Hello, is your first time buying a vinyl? Uh-huh. Did James tell you to ask this? No, Morgan, I didn't mean to say that. He can't help being petty. But I know you have to serve me. You have to help everyone consume. It was about more than that once. At least I think it was. Can a shop be about more than consumption? Now I'm not sure anymore. If I had just stopped being stubborn. If maybe I had listened. I miss her. Is it too late? Dove can still fly. I always knew Willow was too good to just play in our little pop band. Everyone could see it, but James was the only one who did something about it. Not for her sake, though. I always knew she was the better musician, the better sibling. Sweet Willow never got angry, always wanted to keep the peace. She was everything I couldn't be. I didn't see this as a strength until it was too late. Why would someone so sweet and forgiving hurt me this badly? I still don't know. But now I can be proud of what she's achieved, now that it's too late. It's good that you can still find the records people need. It means you're still in there. Don't go, Morgan. Don't leave me here. Well, bye. So we're trapped in this purgatory of this AI store right now. That's wonderful. Gosh darn it. Live with Clive. Is this Mimi? Oh my god, huge. Good evening. You're watching Clive Roderson here on Monster Music TV, and tonight we have with us a very special guest. She's known as the Bubblegum Princess, the Siren of Song, the Master of Pop. It's Mimi. Hi, Mimi. Big fan. Hi. Now, Mimi, your ascent to pop stardom has been a fairy tale, but recent events have threatened to snatch away your happily ever after. So can you enlighten us on the rumors about Mecha Mimi Meets Mother being written by a ghostwriter? What you and everyone else needs to understand, when something has the Mimi name on it, it's a Mimi certified Mimi experience. So you're saying it's not true? Clive, what I'm saying is there are many hands working behind the scenes of all of our favorite stars. The most important part is the conduit, the voice, and that's me. But some of your fans claim to be affected by the accusations, particularly due to the personal framing of the record. What would you say to those fans? What I would say is, Clive, is that the only reason I agreed to come on this sad sack of a show was to move on from this story. So hurry up and move it along before I and Spot Studios help move you off television. But you know what? We don't need to listen to me wittering on. Why don't we go over to our audience to take some questions? A romance question. Care to comment for your eager fans? Me and Robbie Dare, are absolutely not an item. So we're in romance then? A lust, a fling, 2 ships passing in the night? We will not be discussing this any further. Moving on. Looks like a fan who really doesn't want to let this go. Care to comment, Mimi? No. No, I think I'd rather not. Next question. Yep, sounds good. Moving on. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Melissa! Rob, what the hell? I told you to wait in the car. I heard you tell the world we aren't an item, babe. And it crushed me, so I had to come out here and say, I love you, babe. Marry me. Ew. What a turn of events. Do not adjust your seats, folks. You cannot be serious. Get me out of here now. Babe? What? Cut to adverts. This is TV Gold. She's threatening. What? We'll be right back after the break. Babe! Ooh! The drama! The drama, the drama, the drama! Side D, track 16. Thank God we're back to the actual shop. I don't think I could keep playing it if it was just this AI one. Walking the Cow. Rally to show support for Walking the Cow. Yay! We're not alone. Yay! Even more. Morning, kid. You're here. Heh. And only 5 minutes late. Not a good time for jokes, huh? Everyone else is here too. Hi, kid. Hiya, honey. Hey. Greetings. We're just waiting on tea. Uh-huh. So, there isn't really a good way to say this. You've all been amazing and given the store and me more than anyone could ask. But even then, it's felt impossible. Like, even if we raise the money Dan is asking for, what stops him from just moving the goalposts again? No. Well, the other day I got thinking, wouldn't it be better to stop? A clean break instead of just keeping people on edge like that. I've done it before, why not do it again? Everyone is so tired with constant uncertainty, but even when doing something so monumentally selfish, you all kept texting, calling, knocking on my door. Mateo even tried to drop off a vegan casserole for Christ's sakes. I mean, I didn't know if you were sick or dying, and I thought, who doesn't like food? I sure do. But I also didn't know your preferences, so I went for a veggie casserole. But that had cheese on top, and I couldn't remember if you had any pizza the day we had that repeater pizza party, which, by the way, we should really have another. Thank you, Mateo, is what I meant. Oh, no, absolutely, anytime. Anyway, it pains me to admit, but you lot shook me out of it. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to us. No, hang on. I'd like an actual apology. I know you're our boss, and we should be happy to still have a job, but yeah, we were worried about you. To just disappear was not okay. Don't you agree, kid? You look like you hardly slept. James Grant cannot have this shop. It's the most serious I've ever seen the kid. You're right, Abby. I'm really sorry. Thank you. Thanks to all of you for worrying about me. It's alright. Hi, Val. Welcome on in. But what now? Well, there's one thing we haven't tried. After I did that Becoming Violet zine, didn't I tell you people still love that band? True, people have been buying Becoming Violet records, now that we're actually selling them. Yes, and I told you we're not begging for money. And I'm not asking you to, but what if you did a Becoming Violet fundraising gig? You've noticed that Becoming Violet split, right? We could ask Pat to join you. He'd be well up for it. Besides, lots of people do one-off gigs with their old material. Yeah, and Girl Junk could open for you. We could mix a recording of the gig, sell it as a limited pressing. We could tell that Live with Clyde dude about the fundraiser too. That Live with Clive dude? You mean Clive Roderson? Actually, wouldn't it be funny if the show was called Live with Clive and he was something called like Johnny? How would that be funny? That would just be terrible branding. You didn't even know his name until a minute ago. Guys, focus. No, let them. The longer they keep going, the later we open. No, the kid has a point, so come on, girl, what do you say? Okay, I owe it to all ya. So let's give it a try, which means we gotta stop slacking off. There's a shop to save and you're all still standing, so let's get to work. We'll talk to Pat at the Apple Bed tonight. Woo! I love me some community action. How was your day? My day was really good. How was yours, Val? My work day wasn't too bad. I could have dealt with an extra day off, but it is what it is. Gotta go back to work. How many things you can do when you're just pretending? So let's pretend our rate of success. Huh. Any new music? Ooh. Why don't you love my love? Remake announced. She must need the money. No one needs to see this movie again ever. Ooh. Wait, did everyone leave for the Apple Bed? Isn't that what you said to do? Yeah, for tonight. It's only 10 a.m. Pat won't even be awake yet. In the meantime, if we want to save the store, we should probably be actually working the store. Sigh. Good thing I got you, kid. Ready to put the hours in and save this old dump bucket? Let's do it. And open her up. I hate Mondays. Yeah, it's a rough one. My cousin must be messing up our directory. He told me this place was closed down on my way over. I knew he was talking trash. He's not as wrong as you think. So what? You're closed? No, we're open. So I was right. He's wrong? Why don't you tell me what's on your list? Yeah, I need to be out of here sharpish. I got an interview after this delivery. Oh, you'll stop working with your cousin? Are you crazy? I need more work, not less. Do you know how much rent is these days? More than you know. Yeah, I'm with you. Alright, let's get this done. As usual, my cuz rushed the note, and he only partially wrote the album name down. The first letter of the first word, which is a B. Then there's the word Sun King at the end of it. B something Sun King. That's gifted. Hi Osa, welcome on in. I'm doing quite well. Brick dog sinking. There we go. We got it. That's the right one. I'm impressed, I gotta say. When you hear it out loud, brick dog sinking, it makes sense. I owe you. There's no way I'd have recognized that. Laters. Hey, good luck with your interview. Oh yeah. Thanks. Vinny Spoon, promoter. Hey. Name Spoon. Vinny Spoon. Heard of me? No? That's too bad. You clearly don't get out much, because I happen to be the promoter for Sizzling at Spoonies. You seriously haven't heard of Sizzling at Spoonies? The famous, running for over 12 years, punk night? You know, live music every Thursday at the Hermit Bar? No? Well, listen anyway. The thing is, I'm listening to local punk bands day in, day out, and I love it. But the truth is, my downtime, I love listening to soppy, romantic indie bands. It's because my wife, she loves rom-coms with these trashy, catchy soundtracks. Yes. It is over here. It's the Ico one. For this rom-com remake? Right, it is this one, right? No, this one. Why don't You Love My Love remake announced? Aiko Suzuki, which I think this is the only one by Aiko Suzuki. Yeah. There we are! Rock, 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 rock. Oh, yeah. I know it's been announced as a composer for... But her music isn't scratching that big, trashy indie... Oh, sorry. Okay, I got a meh on that one. Never mind. I thought that was it. It was the composer. What an icon, showing those pigs shade. They were so rude, asking all those questions about James and AI. Don't they know they're talking to royalty? Good for her walking out. We love you, Willow. We got you. Fly, Rita, fly. Hey, Dad. Dad. Marco. I told you it wasn't closed. Easy, sis. I hear you. All I'm saying it was closed when I walked past the other day. Well, it's not now. I'm just so excited. You just wanted the same band you always want. Nuh-uh. I want the newest, not the last newest one anymore. How about this? Why don't you both show me? Marco, you pick an album. Chloe, you pick an album. And I'll pick an album. Does that sound fair? New Twisted Rap for Marco. And recently Criminally Loud record for me. Oh no. Okay, so the one that she wants is this one. Twisted Rap. This isn't rap. Oh, this one would have been the one to get the other guy. Gosh darn it. Criminally Loud record. Okay. That's that one. That's the Criminally Loud record. Now we need Twisted Rap. On her Twisted new album, Bust Bass, huh? Alrighty, there we go. Looks like we nearly got everyone's. Think you kids are happy to compromise? Yeah, sure. I was looking forward to enjoying each other's picks, but I guess getting some lucky dips is okay. Which one did I miss? Uh-oh. Oh, man. Hi, guess who's back? But this time I'm here for me, and only me. Because did you see chatting with Charlie this morning? No. That Willow was something fierce. What a woman. She took nothing from no one, walking out of that studio like a queen. But you know, I've never actually listened to her music. I need to further understand her. Like, what is the most famous Willow album you've got here? Well, technically none. Oh. I don't get it. You don't understand. I need this. Based on this woman, and I need to be able to hear her speak to me. Right, so the most famous Willow album then? Yes. Well, this is where we tell you that we literally don't carry any Willow albums. Again, for like the third time.
We're gonna fail.
It's the only one we have. Like, we don't have Willow's album. Okay. But, like, this is with her sister or something, and it's super famous. And you're telling me there's more drama? Oh, I'm loving this spice. I love it. I'm all in. Okay. That's the only one we could do. We don't sell Willow here. Phonogram. Oh, there's Jazz. Favorite singing spot is saved. The Jazzy Jazz tour will continue. Ew. Oh, wonderful. It's still here. Yeah, I think Ryan must have been talking to Mick, saying that the store had closed. The scoundrel. But I'll happily admit, he's a lot of fun. Oh yeah, he makes me laugh. I'm sure your father would be overjoyed if he could see you now. Just don't overthink it, trust me. Thanks, Winston, I won't. I better run, but same time next week for coffee? Already in my calendar. Great, it's a date. Oh, and don't forget to ask for that album that Ryan recommended. Ah, yes, the record. What was the record again? Winston. Oh, I'm so sorry, friend. I got lost in thought there. I was trying to remember the details of the record that Rashida's new boyfriend, Ryan, recommended to me. Lovely chap, by the way. I think I remember the album supposedly had a robot on the cover. Oh, yes, and lyrical content in it, which would make me blush. A robot on the cover of it. Okay, there's not very many of it. There's two. There's one. No robots. No robots. Ooh, this one. Or this one. No, I don't know if this is it. We'll try the other one, I guess. That lyrics that might make me blush. Let's try this one. Screw it. If we get it wrong, we get it wrong. Oh, well, this certainly looks lively. It would appear Ryan is encouraging me to embrace my younger spirit. I shall take it at full speed. Crude lyrics be damned. How fun. Okay, it worked out. We got it okay. We did it good. That actually didn't go too badly, you know, considering it was the first day back after supposedly closing the store, which has been my life for the past 20 years or so. Hey, you two. We gonna make tracks for the apple bed? Everyone's waiting. Yep, let's do it. Let's plan a way to save my baby. You got it, boss. Okay, it's fading to black. Okay, it's not on me. Whew. Just waiting for it to load. So we're really getting back together, huh? After all this time? Pat, I really need to... Hey, whoa, easy, easy. I just really needed someone to talk to. Is it gonna be a regular thing now? I'm sorry, you said I could come and... No, I know. Of course you should come here. Just take a beat. What's going on? I had a meltdown live on air. Okay, well, yeah, that is something. What happened? This stupid press play tour. I was booked on that idiotic Chatting with Charlie. All because of James. Him and his new grotesque music AI grifter bullocks. I have to be the advocate, the messenger, the walking fucking billboard. And yesterday, I just lost it. I love that there's so many swears in this game. Sigh. I know it's hard to believe, but me and James, we used to be close. We used to love talking about music together. It's a part of what made us work, that shared belief in what's required. That to succeed in music, it demands total devotion and sacrifice. And I have given music everything. I've given James everything. Oh, Patty, what have I done? I'm sorry, love. I wish I had easy answers for you, but there is one person who I think would be worth talking to about this. Huh. And what... And what, be the cliche younger sister? Useless and in need of saving? It's not like that, and you know it. I think you know you need each other. Well, good luck getting her to admit that. What if she won't talk to me? Well, there's only one way to find out. Well, they're on their way in right now. So, be prepared. Hey there, kid. You're getting an autograph from Old Man Pat before the queues get too long? Ready for your comeback? Never went anywhere. Pat Brennan, beloved local celebrity, just lay in wait. Every trend comes back, right? Actually, now that I think about it, I'm more of an evergreen. A fine wine. Seriously though, I want this for Morgan. No matter what happens, she should enjoy this, because she blamed herself for a long time for how the band broke up. I mean, I really hope she can find some peace in it, whatever happens. Anyway, the floor is yours, so to speak. Pat, do you have a toolbox somewhere? Oh, hey, kid. Yeah, let me check. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere when I bought the place. Aw, man, are you kidding? What do you need tools for? Just need to fix some faulty wiring. I didn't know you could do that. I'm a DJ and producer. I know my basic electrical wiring. But also, Pat's paying. That's why I'm doing it. Sure. Hey, Paul. Pat, always a soft sight for my tired eyes. And hey, kid. You're just the person I was looking for. I heard you're some kind of drinks wizard, and this tall glass is empty and in desperate need of nourishment. We're going to be doing a lot of planning tonight, and I need to be super sharp. I need to focus. We need ideas. Something unusual that'll inspire me with its bold approach. Just no citrus flavors. No citrus flavors. Okay. What is curious? But that's orange. That's citrus. Can't do that. That's an orange rind, which is also citrus. Cider. I don't think we want devil rum. Expanding head. Metal malt. Definitely not that. We don't want this. What's Stouty J? To look through at the life beyond. Let's try that. Screw it. Apple's not a citrus. Oh, well that color is already saying unusual to me. Let's give it a sippy sip. Mama, quite a kick to that one. That's sure gonna keep me sharp, unless I drink too many of these. Haha, thanks love. You're a drink wizard after all. Okay, I succeeded on that one. I was a little nervous there. Okay, we are refreshed. Let's head back to the others. Damn, I am a drinks wizard. Don't mind if I do. Huge. Listen up, everybody. We need to make sure everyone from your grandma to your neighbor knows about this fundraiser. Ted is more than happy to drop us a mention. Okay. For a second there, it like disconnected me from the chat and I got really confused there. Okay. Well, we're still good. We're still alive. Just freaked me out a little bit. Ted is more than happy to drop us a mention in the article about Too Bright. What else can we do? I can promote the gig right here. Ahem. Listen up, you sad drunks. Morgan McIntyre is gonna give a concert here at the Bad Apple. Good for her. Listen, you little shit. That's the creative soul behind becoming Violet. Violet, you're heckling. Who hangs out here every week? Who are you calling an old hag? Okay, so we don't leave promotion up to Pat. Yeah. I think that's fair. Hang on, do I hear music? Is that my jukebox playing? It's been 23 years since I heard that thing. Just some faulty wiring. You're a wizard, T. Sure, I know where some wires go. Yay. Okay, so I really need some volunteers. I'm gonna read out some tasks. Raise your hand. Okay. Oh, we're on to side E now. We're in the last chapter. Bad toast, chipped toenails. Or chipped nails. Girl junk. Hey kid, great timing. We need help with these boxes. Mateo nearly died trying to get them out of the basement. Huff, huff. I love you all, and I'm always happy to help, but I'm not as strong as I look, you know? It's okay, big guy. You did your best. What's up with the boxes? Didn't you hear? Morgan is gone for broke. She was here all weekend working upstairs. We couldn't afford to pay the last renovation, so Morgan just did it herself, which gave us some extra space to feature the one and only Girl Junk's very own EP. What? Abby, that's incredible news. The band Sister have got a new DIY label and they wanted us to help launch it. It's so cool. Della already brought them over before she went to work today. I forget to say I'm proud of you, Abby. You found the girls a studio and coordinated the recordings, and now they have an EP. Yeah, I'm super proud of them, but you want to get back on stage? No. Kinda. I don't want to just play bass for Girl Junk again. Maybe? I love Girl Junk, and I put a lot of myself into that band, but they're not me. I have my own different point of view. Sometimes I feel like I have things I want to say that have nothing to do with supporting someone else's project. Told Hank that he's more than to life than his old band, right? But then I asked myself, if Girl Junk ever split, what would I do? Who am I without them? Or like, I never actually thought of Morgan as anything else but this cool older business lady. But everything always comes back to becoming Violet. What if she hates that? I don't know, it doesn't feel like a crisis. Just thinking about whether I need something that's all mine. Sometimes helping others achieve their dreams is what matters. The Dalai Lama said that. Well, sure, you always try your best to make people feel good about their achievements. It's what I like about you so much. I'm gonna fire up some quick promo for the EP on Phonogram. Can you guys open the shop? Just me announcing another Wax and Wine soiree this Friday at 7 p.m. We're gonna be listening to Maria Estrella's Mwah. See you there. The Glorf soundtrack featuring Glyph Glove. Oh my Glorf. Glorf. The movie gets reviewed by Wante. The takeaway is that despite being a mind-melting mess, kids will love it, and Mimi is set for a comeback with the triumphantly catchy, infectious OST song Glyph Glove. Oh. Glorf. Nice. Alrighty, who's on the... Who do we got on the soundtrack? Who's new today? I gotta play Bad Toast, apparently, today. Right? There's so much music, you can't help but become an expert. Makes me feel better. You felt bad? If you were uncomfortable, in deep pain, angry, yearning, confused, you don't have a problem, you have a life. I still have bad days, but I used to feel a lot worse, a lot more often. So being this happy guy now is a big step for me. You and Abby reminded me of what matters today. I thought being at Repeater at my age was a sign I'm a bit of a failure, honestly, but the shop and what we do matters to people. I saw how much you've helped people simply by giving them something they enjoy, and that's validating. I hope to one day think of myself as valuable no matter what I do for money. But doing my part in this already reminds me that I can, at least, do something good in a small way. Let's do it. Let's open it up. Sniff. Hi. No, not really. Me and Patry broke up. No way. I know. And it was over something so dumb. Damn, I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do to help? Yes. Yes, there is. I need something to listen to help me release. My heart's shattered into tiny specks of lonely glass. I want to listen to something sad to soundtrack the moment. Something that will make me ache with every breath. Okay, we got new albums. It's a new week, new records. Oh, there's a Willow album. Let's go upstairs. It's the Becoming Violet area. Girl junk. Oh, I can go down the stairs this way. Ooh, there we go. Sick. Okay. What else we got here? There's a new movie soundtrack. Definitely not that one. I think it's the Willow album. Unless we got some new albums over here. Nope, those are the same ones. Okay, it's the Willow album for sure. I want to feel good bad, not bad bad. What is this? Oh. Never mind, it was not the Willow album. I take it back. That was not correct. Oops. Isn't it bloody amazing walking into a store and seeing two of your records side by side? What a world. Because, you know, I was so close to giving up on Bad Toes. But then I'd have missed out on being on a record label by Sister. And check it. They even gave us a copy of the record for free. Okay. Gotta go upstairs. Here's the two that they're supporting. Girl, stay. Girl. Damn, these look awesome. And we're on the same label as these guys. So sick. You know, it sounds silly, but sometimes I just get so wrapped up in the minutia of being in a band. I forget to enjoy the magic of bands. Watching a bunch of people on a stage surrounded by sound, throwing their limbs and souls into every flail and sound. It's awesome. Music is awesome. Don't worry, I'll be there. I mean, how many record stores do you see in this town? Where else would we be? Would we store our albums? See you there. Sick. Like, hey man, are they trying to close down the repeater? That's not cool, man. We gotta, like, do something, man. We gotta fight the powers, my dudes. Margarita, buenas tardes, dear. Mi hijo. It's his birthday tomorrow. He loves music and wanted to surprise him. So every time I listen to the radio, I always write down the bands I think he'd like. Could I share the names with you, dear? First is Bert Evershine, who's a blues jazz singer. He sounds so handsome too. Maurice Taya. Maurice Tay. Uh-oh. Mm-mm. Oh my god, that's so cool. 50% proceeds go to Palestine. That's sick as frick. I don't know who this person is. Maurice Tay. No. Who's Maurice Tay? Check the dialogue history. Bert Evershine, Stella Novak, Maurice Tay. If I have the names right. I know, okay. This would be Stella Novak, right? I don't know. I'm lost. Think she changes the name of one of them? Bert Evershine, Maurice Taya. Stella Novak. Bert Evershine, Stella Novak, Maurice Taya.
Is it Maria?
I feel like it's gotta be that one, right? Okay, let's go with it. Yeah. It's like if you combine Maurice Taya, Maria Estrella. Got it. Sick, we got it. Pokemon. Daisy and the boys. Hiya. Say hello, boys. Glorfy Bee. Gift for my husband. It's our anniversary and he loves, well, by Spirograph Sonnet. No. It's a shame. He loves them. What about Gum Gum guys? Glorf Sam. Any Doreen and the Dog Walkers? This is getting tricky. Oh wait. Sick Sad World Records. Convinced I saw him talking about a band being released by them. Glorf Fingers. They had a body part written in their name, and they're on Sick Sad World Records. Well, there's two options for that, because one is Bad Toes and one is The Knees. So I'm gonna go with Bad Toes. Hope they like it. Oh, Bad Toes? It was the Denise. I chose the wrong one. 50-50 shot. They're trying to close Repeater Records. No, that's so wrong. My sister loves that place, and they even helped me out once. I'll certainly be going to their fundraiser event. We gotta do our part. True. Sorry. Dad, don't talk with your mouth full. Sorry, Lyra. But I could also be known as Mascot Dad. What a gift to have such a strong-headed daughter. Stop being embarrassing. And you said we'd only be stopping in for a minute. We gotta pick up your mascot outfit from the dry cleaners. We're playing Tiny Teeth Secondary today. You're right. Why don't you go wait in the car? Want the world she grows up in to be one where community matters. School sports teams or independent record stores, wherever there's a place that fosters connection between people. That's something that's always worth fighting for, so you can count on me. Oh. Uh-oh, I better run. No. I'm sorry, I heard the news from Allie. Do you want to talk about it? No. I need some music to cry to. Something familiar, something comfortable. Something that carries an extricable harbinger of loss. I wish to be comfortably anguished. Where's her brick dogs? Where's your brick dog? Dog. Yes, this is perfect. Taro deal. A heartbreaking loss, just as Allie. Blanket of grief for me to drown in.
Get back together.
That was one of the better storylines of this game. Why won't Patry and Allie get back together? Hey, kid. Can I tell you something? I promise you won't call me crazy. Can't promise that. That's fair. But check it out. I found a copy of Willow's albums in the basement. I'm kind of freaking out. This is Morgan's one hard rule. No Willow albums in the store. Hey, you two. What are you two? Wow. It's quoted on The Simpsons. What a scoop. How do you suppose it got there? Are you thinking? Morgan? If I might suggest, I think it would be wise to put it back downstairs. But Mateo, come on, this is huge, perhaps. But I do fear that revealing it may have unforeseen consequences. Precisely. Or you may have a point. Alrighty, end of the day. Oh, I hope we get to hear Morgan play. We better. Larf. Morning! Yo! Feels like a lot of stuff has happened recently, huh? How's the fundraiser going? It's coming together, although I do feel the pressure of never having done something like this before. I feel like a lot is on the line because I've asked people to invest time and money. It's just, don't tell Morgan I said that. I wonder if Morgan and Pat alone are enough to get people to come to the gig. I know a lot of people will come just because they're curious to see if she still got it, you know? But I wonder if it's gonna be enough. What the hell, Paul? Morgan, she'll be cool, okay? Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. I should be more trusting. It's like, whatever. No, hey, come on. We put so much work in this, girl. What? You just said Morgan by herself wasn't good enough. Like, you're saying it's all doomed. I wasn't. I just meant maybe a supporting act would be cool. What, like Billy and his stupid toes? I guess, but that's not quite it. Roberta D and I, we've just... Hold on for a second. Did I miss T dating international avant-garde sensation Roberta D? Girl, you were going for it, huh? Don't be stupid. Even if Roberta and I hadn't been. I mean, we haven't been. Wow, you broke her. You broke her good. You're so annoying. Let's open already. When my niece took me to that god-awful Glore film, and the music was actually annoyingly good. Putting the P in punk politics. Is punk political, cosmetic dress-up, or is it both? Cool. Just a lot of reading. I will not lie. It's a time-honored question. Since the 1970s, it was a time of leather jackets held together with safety pins, mohawks, and snotty sweat-induced gigs. Power in words and punk, despite its complicated and misdirected history, still burns with the power of action, dissent, and community when it joined to the right receptacle. Certainly senior post-punk bands like Sister have marketed their brand of self-identifying misanthropists and still going, carrying the torch for those who believe the fading advantages of nostalgia. Whose now with chipped nails messily tries to combat the sheer weight of our capitalist dystopia. These plucky, brash youths can awaken us from the machine that's killing us. So is punk political? The actual question is irrelevant, but when we have vessels such as Bad Toes stepping up to try and wear the crown just as those before them, we should dare to join the dream, because only together will we ever find out. Yeah. Deed emailing me, okay? To say thanks, that's all. But she gets it, you know, that the music is what matters most. It's all easy when she talks about it. Oh, what? Just a small crush then. Shut up! Come on, let's get this over with. Ooh! Hey, pal. How's it going? I'm good. Yeah, I bet, pal. I thought you were all closing up around here. Would have been bad for business, because people like getting records delivered. Who would have thought, right? Kaz told me all about how you were helping him out. Wait, you're Kaz's cousin? Huh, got it in one. Man, he said you were smart. Yeah, we decided to do a switcheroo. You know, I'm more of a people person, and I started this biz to connect with people. Instructions mixing up, me. Kaz didn't tell me you were also funny too, but you do make a good point. I'm on the clock, so let's hustle. Just need a copy of the album Glass Tense. Tense Glass. I thought so. Yes. Glass Tense, just like it says on my note. The record is called Tense Glass. Exactly what I said. I knew you'd get it. Oh, I didn't even realize he was a Wax Pack number. Wax Pack member. What do you think you're playing at? Oh, hey, it's Dan. Dan the man, if you're looking for Morgan. I don't care about Morgan. I demand to know what this thing hanging off one of my buildings is. Oh, you found one of our promo posters. It says fundraiser right here on the... I know what it says. I can't listen to my album with all this noise. What's the problem? Oh, someone wrote F landlords on this one, huh? Unfortunate. Any idea who would do such a thing to you? Nope. Kid. And there you have it. You think I don't know what you're doing? You think you're so clever. I'm not going to be beaten by a gaggle of old, unwashed punks who have never held a real job. James Grenth used to be one of those unwashed punks, honey. Ha, fine. Do your little song and dance. It'll change nothing. Honestly, what a dramatic little guy. That's rich coming from you. You love me. Yikes. Phonogram. Heard the scandal of the Snarl remastered for I Tried. It's bleeming, actually 65 pounds. Rick put out a statement this morning saying to ignore retail price labels and to expect the actual unit price to be 65 smackers. Insanity. Hi. Oh my god, I'm like so glad you're still open. Like I heard the news you were closed and I was like, no, that's so sad. But then I heard you're like not closed and that you're doing a fundraiser. So cute. Local action and community is so in right now. I'll be here. You can count on it. talking about being there for someone. We've got to get to the important biz. Our savior, the one who puts me in me and Mimi, because, like, that's her name. She needs our love. But her new song is going to roast all the haters because, oh my god, it's so good. Track on record. It's unfortunately like a weird track. She's on this one, I believe. Glyph Love. If I remember correctly from the other day. Cool. There it is. Eek! Glyph Love is such a jam. I mean, have you listened to it? It is bliss. Like, I don't know what these little freaky monsters are, but if they're down to jam with Mimi, then, like, they're alright by me. Mimi just makes everything cool. I'm gonna go home and spin it and, like, spin it. See you at the fundraiser. Bye! Good morrow, my dear store clerk. I had such a fright when I saw your establishment close, but old Tony had his ears to the ground, and I heard whispers on the rumor mill that you were planning to fight this gross injustice. Ha! And bravo, I say. I'm right here with you. We need to protect our local bastions. These oil slick oligarchs think they can just help themselves to whatever they fancy. Well, I say tosh. Always means what he says. And I wish to make an unusual purchase. Like your most expensive musical. Alrighty. How do I know which one is the most expensive? That one says...
How do I know what the price is?
I think it's this one, right? That's the one that they just advertised, right? How do we know what the price is? Oh my god, it's no longer on sale anymore. I feel like it's gotta be this one, right? We're just gonna go for it. Screw it. Said it was 65, right? Well, isn't that an eyesore? Huh, but it does look sumptuous. Woohoo! We did it. Okay, we're good. Hey! So I have, like, no money. Because I bought a guitar and I'm starting a band. That's wicked, right? What are you called? Scarlet Starlet. I don't really know what it means. My friend Maya, she's the drummer. She thought it sounded cool. I just wanted to tell you guys because I know you're doing this fundraiser thing and it would suck big time if you closed. Like, coming to the store, it's what got me into my music. Not my brother's, not my dad's, mine. So you guys aren't allowed to close. We gotta put Scarlet Starlet album in here. Oh. Where have my bloody AIDS gotten to? What even is this place? An utensil emporium? Lose to a lefty codger in a flat cap. Surely there must be something I can do. Wait, I've got it. Don't try to be cute with me. I'm still your MP, damn it. I'm hemorrhaging votes among you woke wallflowers. Grab me an album that'll show that I'm in tune with popular, politically savvy, vibrant voting youths like yourself. Hey, have you ever heard of Bad Toes? Hope you enjoy. Let me look at that. Ankle austerity. Pinky pays for weapons, not schools. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Virtual signaling nonsense. Pinky? If that doesn't make me look like I'm in touch with these whitey babies, I don't know what will. Now I just need to get some opportune photos. And remember, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your pets. Void life stips. Vote for Chip. No. Get lost, dude. Herc. That's... Don't panic. But that's Willow and she's here. She's been here before. You know what I mean. Hello again. Is Morgan here? Oh, my God. Have we met before? You were here on my first day. Oh, right. Well, the shop looks nice. Look, I'm just gonna stand over there and wait. I can help you look for something in particular. Huh? What, like a record? Nice sales pitch, kid. I'm a multi-platinum award-winning global musical icon. Forgive me if I'm pessimistic, but I struggle to think how you would find something that would interest me. How bad would it be if I showed her her own record? Would that surprise her? I hope this works. I hope this works. That's... Oh, yes! That's my album. My first ever album. Where did you... Morgan had this here? Morgan had this in her store? Well, it's complicated. But it was Morgan's? Morgan owns this? Yes, she does. Yes! Okay. Willow? Let me guess. Here to deliver a new threat. Erg. You always think you have everyone so figured out. Am I wrong? Shh. I didn't know James was trying to take your store. I swear I didn't know, okay? Look, I don't want to talk about James right now. I want to talk about the time you ditched the band to run off with my psycho then boyfriend. You make it all sound so simple, and maybe after all these years it is. I was so stuck back then, Morgan. You just couldn't see it. I wanted to make those songs together. Was it so wrong to want to share the spotlight? But you couldn't see past yourself, and James offered me a chance. Ha, sure he did. And look, if you need to know what you did with James was your business. I don't care that you stole my man or anything. That's on him. But to leave the band before there was a Pat or James, Becoming Violet was us, Willow. It was us. You never gave a good goddamn about it. You know, you're right. I didn't care about Becoming Violet, but I did care about you. That was what Becoming Violet meant to me. Be around my sister, who gave no shits, sang like a beautiful banshee and blazed like a burning sun. And you burned so damn bright, and being a part of that was everything to me. Then we got famous, more people came to our shows, we sold more records, everything got faster, louder, bigger. And there I was, shrinking against that burning blaze. It was for you to see me, hear me, like I did you, Morgan. I just wanted my goddamn sister to notice me. And you know, I gave up on ever believing you would, until today. You've been keeping a copy of my album all these years. Just because you broke my heart didn't mean I didn't want to hear your voice. You know you could always hit a note better than me. That's the whole point. I didn't know. You never told me. And I regret it. I was so sure that I was ever right. That was ever right for me. Must have been right for the band. Must have been right for you. The way things ended, it made all worse to try and swallow that pill about how wrong I was. I'm sorry, Willow. Me too. God, why didn't we talk like this years ago? I know. So what happens now? Let's call it a start. I can live with that. Heh. What? What's so funny? Sorry, a ridiculous idea just popped in my head and play with me. I'm sorry, what? The fundraiser. Play with me. Let's play as Becoming Violet. I don't know how this is gonna shake out. Most likely we're gonna piss each other off before we know it. And I don't know what you're gonna do about James. But here in the now, let's just do this for us. I don't know more. It feels like a point of no return. Come on, play with me on stage again. We can play Take It. You always told me you hated that song. I only told you that because you wrote it. The truth is I hated it because it was better than any of mine. Fuck it. Fine. Yes, let's do it. Huge! Wait, shut up. Did we just get Becoming Violet back together? Everyone is gonna come to this. Easy there, Tiger. Baby steps. Let's just let it sink in. I can't believe this is happening. Better late than never, sis. Better late than never. Yeah. Huge! That makes me so excited. Live with Clive. Oh my god, both Morgan and Willow were on here. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else. Wow, do we have a nostalgic surprise for you tonight? One that hopefully won't affect our ratings. Let's not waste any time in welcoming the matriarch of pop herself, Willow McIntyre. Thank you, Clive. Good to see you're still on air. Huh, yes, well, they would have to prise this microphone from my dead, cold fingers. And what is to be a shocking surprise to anyone born before 1995, and if you were born after, well, kid, that's what the internet is for. Please welcome Morgan McIntyre, everyone. Yeah, hey. So, Morgan McIntyre, tell us, where have you been? What have you been doing? And who are you dating? Just don't introduce them to Willow, am I right, folks? Huh? Yeah, well, that's a lot of questions, but I guess, you know, I've been around. What Morgan is trying to say is becoming violent after a restful pause are now happy to announce a reunion show. Wait, no. The band is called Becoming Violet. Why did that say Becoming Violent? More, get it together. Thanks for asking, Clive. You see, my sister has been running a vibrant record store back in our hometown, but rising rents have made it unsustainable. So now we're hoping to raise money to protect a store that has brought joy to many. Uh-huh. Great, very excited. Why don't we see what the audience has to say? We're not sure if... We haven't asked him yet. Right. Yep, right. Don't even go there. Moving on, then. You're just here because you need money? Here and say that, big shot. How many albums have you written, huh? Morgan, chill out. I'll show him a touching a nerve. Moving on, then. Alrighty. Alrighty. Kid, did you watch Monster Music TV last night? No, I was already asleep. Are you aging before your time? Morgan Fizz, she lost her cool at the audience and now she's all over Phonogram, which means our fundraiser officially going viral, honey. Oh, don't. That was a disaster. Well, the iron's hot, because remember, this fundraiser isn't just meant for us. We help Repeater, we can help Too Bright too. Thankfully, the gays love Willow. We're loyal to our pop icons. No problem, right, kid? You've been helping with the wildest requests since you've arrived. I have no problem leaving things up to you. And you never did, mate. Ooh, the fundraiser poster. Okay, here we go. Morgan. Willow. cat. The seal, huge. On saxophone in the back. A cymbal. Becoming Violet. Huge. I like that. I like it a lot. Sick nasty. Alrighty. We put in a... No. Fabulous job, honey. Looks great, but we can't fundraise if we don't actually open this door. Meow, Morgan, you can't rush great art, but yeah, she's right. We should totally open. Hey, anyone remember when the Sloozer tried to pretend she actually wrote her own songs? Damn. Goodbye to the cow. Oh no! Are resigning. Enjoy our special goodbye print edition of our immaculate music and coverage. Locked in a battle of survival to retain our integrity and livelihoods against the threat of being consumed by aggressive tech bloat. Press play. So in response, we have decided to resign the cow. Music is a primal human expression, universal mode of language that can be performed and enjoyed by all, and as such, we believe it is vital that as journalists we remain free agents to pursue our coverage of this expansive field instead of becoming subordinates for corporate interests. It is with these values, and the one we hold for protecting one another, that we choose to walk into an unknown path. Although we say goodbye now, plans are in motion for us to hopefully see you again. Aww. So sad what's happening to them, but so soon to see them take a stand. We got the last zine, goodbye print edition. Screw James. Or Swan Song. On the day this physical edition goes out, you loyal readers, the entire editorial team will have resigned from Walking the Cow. Wow. 6 Sad World Records. Post-punk Queen's sister have returned with a return to form new album and releasing it on their own just announced record label, 6 Sad World Records. The 4th album of Sister is a crushing wave of percussion. That's a P. I've got some text issues. Heavy bass and textured guitar. It's sure to be a hit among their loyal fan base. Up-and-comers, Girl Junk ooze with confidence and sound totally in control on their excellent self-titled EP. Check them out. Oh my god, it's Abby. And then Denise. And Bad Toes as well. Cool. Brick Dog reunite. Both Bricked Ego and Gareth Gringle's solo venture that the wagging of the tail was too hard to resist. 10-year anniversary London show coming this winter, followed with a worldwide tour coming in 2027. Including Gareth Gringle, Zaki Khan, Bruce McKay, and Andres Martinez. Looks like you can't keep a good dog down. We are Glorf. Autumn. Uh-oh. More. Roberta Deed, the Masked Rider Tour. Keep on spinning. Wow. You're the only one who hasn't asked me some nosy questions about myself and my sister recently. How's it been going? So have you been meeting? It's like having my own set of mini tabloid reporters. I never thought I'd make music with my sister again, but tomorrow night I will. I'll be honest, maybe this fundraiser won't solve all of our problems. I just can't tell. But I will always love Repeater for spreading the joy of music. The joy of music. Ugh, listen to me. Okay, enough of the sappiness. Let's open. Let's open. Oh. Teddy Tom, hello. How you doing, Chuck? Would you look at this place? My name's Teddy Tom, and I'm running to be your new MP. I come from humble roots. In my past life, I lived as a traveling musician. I got tired of what I was seeing. Working for folk being squashed by half-hearted, belt-buckled bureaucrats. Gets me right under the collar. Think, galvanize my spirit. Like when I was younger. Hey, have you heard of Bad Toes? Let's see, hopefully that works. They seem oh, but it sounds like they got their hearts ripe. Fair hearing. Okay, we got an okay warning for that one. Whatever. Hi, kid. Oh, hey, you busy with the fundraiser too? Well, funny story. Girl Junk have just been asked to go on tour to support Brick Dog. Yeah, this is their chance to become actually famous. I think it's incredible for them, and they want me to come with them. But, okay, don't call me crazy, but I said no. I feel like I'm figuring out my own shit, you know? Discovering my own path, taking my own opportunities. Like, opening for Becoming Violet at the fundraiser as a solo act. Oh my god, Abby, that's crazy. I know, right? When I realized Girl Junk wouldn't be able to play because of the tour starting, this little voice inside my head said, Abby, you could do it. You could do it. Some songs of my own, and I don't know, it feels right. I'll find Morgan and find about the deets about soundcheck for tomorrow. Eek! Just walk 25 minutes each way for In-N-Out Burger? That is I mean, In-N-Out's pretty good, I won't lie. Hello, friend. We were just talking about you in the store. I'll explain why my ears are burning. Oh, it was nothing bad. You were just telling Ryan that if it wasn't for the store, me and Winston would have never met. Which would have been a real shame for me as well. Oh, stop it, you. But I mean it. When Bradley first passed, I surrendered myself to the idea that my twilight years would be spent in solitude. But after visiting the store, our conversations gave me confidence, which allowed me to meet new people. Very lucky to have you in our lives. Ahem. Also, but I'm glad to have both of you in my life. Even you. Who, me? I mean, sure, why not? The way these two talk about you, it feels like your family. That was also incorrect grammar. It was Y-O-U-R. It's true, which also brings us to the matter at hand. The fundraiser. I've been telling everyone I know to come. Help out in here and now. Butterfly said you were finally selling something quite rare. Put out by Grip Records. Okay. Got it. I know exactly what it is. Okay, who's got Grip Records? There we go. Can't tell. Then we need to go downstairs. Where's the... Oh, wait, no. Here's Brick. Brick dog. Rare for my friend Rita. There we go. We got them all. See? What did I tell you? They never let us down. I'll admit, friend, I'm impressed. No wonder everyone wants to save this place. And they will. We won't let them take it away from us. Yeah, there's no chance we'll let you fail. We're gonna try and bring as many people as we can. Until then, good luck. Yay! Promise. Brad. Did they get back together? Oh, yes. Everything's resolving. Yes. We got back together. That's so sweet. What happened? We both just got so upset. It was painful. And then we couldn't even remember why we were fighting in the first place. I do. It was about whether cereal can be technically considered as a soup, which it should not. Anyway, we just realized how much we have in common and how much fun we had. Like, you wouldn't think it, but we have quite a similar taste in humor. People assume I don't like to laugh, but I do. So we wanted to get a new album. Black comedy indie band? Okay, so who? It's Scott Bush. We gotta find Scott Bush. Wait, let me go back upstairs. Hang on. Nope. Nope. I don't think so. Indie rock band. What was his name? Scott. Not on here. There he is. Gecko Jester. There we go. Found him. The cover. A gecko in a dress? It looks brilliant. And look, Scott Bush, that's the community we saw. Let's go home and listen right now. Yes. I'm so excited. Let's go. Thank you for creating a space where magic can happen. It's really cool. Yo, Paul around? Yeah. Good morning. Are you okay? Yeah. Man, what's going on? Ooh, oh, T offered to make a bootleg of the fundraiser. Although I guess it's not really a bootleg if she's got permission. Anyway, she said, then you'll have your sister's first record and the record of your first time back together. Girl, that kid is such a Mystery McGee. Just casually punched us in the feels and then laughed. Damn. Mystery figure. It's Mimi. Psst, over here. Yeah, you. Shh. Whoever you think I am, it's not what you think. Look, it was cold out. Anyway, doesn't matter. What really matters is I'm after something very specific. Yeah, that's the one. But no, Mimi has to be perfect. It has to be the embodiment of work and flawless execution. I mean, thank God for that hideous Glub Kid movie. Against all odds, it's my ticket out of this mess. So here's a check for your little fundraiser thing you're doing out front. And then that way we can agree. I was never here. Got it? Thanks, Mimi. Hello, hello. I try to help in my own way. Without labor, nothing prospers, said Sophocles. And of course, it's a bit ironic seeing how Sophocles was born into wealth, and yet most of his plays didn't survive. But if he really died because he tried to recite a long verse from his own play without pausing for breath, I'm pretty sure he would have died a world record holder. But he was also 90 years old, so it's more likely Matteo. And for a while I felt bad about that, but watching you work here, Repeater, made me think that just making someone smile matters. A small action is still action, and together our small actions suddenly don't feel so small. So yeah, thank you. I try my best, but sometimes it's difficult to see what you yourself have achieved, right? I find saying thank you to others easier. Oh. Ooh. Wow. Look at this place. It looks so different. Sorry, are you okay? Oh, sorry, it's just been a while. I used to live around here. Repeater is where I first fell in love with music. Lynn's? Oh my god, I can't believe it, Morgan. Look at you. How you doing? Well, I won't lie, I've been better. Seems like James Grant is ruining everybody's day right now. Not to rub it in. Damn it. It's not your fault, Morgan. No, but it feels like it is, so... Man, what an asshole. What will you do? Well, it seems like there's no stopping the buyover. Or getting our demands answered. So, we're going to try and be an audience-supported enterprise. It's very hush-hush, but it's exciting. In fact, the reason I'm here is to cover your fundraiser as the first story for Hammer. I miss you. Well, damn, Linz, that's incredible. I'm proud. Although after hearing you broke up with Davis, sorry, never did like him. I thought you'd have another reason for stopping by. Oh, come on now, don't start that again. It's been years. I know. But a particular Phantom Hella fella does still work here, you know? He's still around. You know, he loves this building nearly as much as I do. But he's doing well for himself. His band's record just got a big release. You're kidding. Wait, no, that was him? We just featured them in our goodbye zine. I need to grab a copy of that record. What you need to do is grab his phone number for Hank. Be nice to catch up. Ah! Oh my god, that's him. I can't believe Hank's still playing. We dated when we were young. I moved to the city, we drifted apart, but I like holding on to that memory. Why not make some new memories? Here's his number. Call him. Maybe I will. Either way, I'll see you tomorrow night. Good luck with everything. You too, Linz. Oh. Claude, really? With me, Clive Roderson. Or at least you would have been if my camera crew hadn't gotten lost. So suspect it's a narcissism exercise instead? Taking her shot to get back into limelight? Aha, so we're talking about a cult conspiracy. Washed out music star brainwashes gullible local town folk. Gotcha. Gotta do my bit for you antiquated independent types. How about that dolt we had on the show a few weeks ago? I just saw that he reunited with his old band. His solo album must have been a real stinker to have given up on it so quickly. I could use a good laugh. Yeah, find me that. It's not sad. Rude? I know whose album it is. How do I get downstairs again? There we go. Okay, we're almost there. Delicious. That's the one. Get out of here, Cloud. Okay, huge. We're back in the big break room. Okay, tomorrow's the big gig. Let's hope enough people heard about our special guest. Morgan, how do you feel? I knew we had to make this a big deal. I don't like how big a deal you're making it. Does that mean you're nervous? Don't be cheeky now. Everyone in here acting as if I don't pay their bills. Grumble. Clearly everyone is looking forward to the show. Nothing left to do but sprinkle some dazzle. Let's give them a show to remember then. Yeah! Oh my goodness. Why did I get pinged? Oh, it's just the regular. Okay. Is this the concert? I hope so. Hey, you made it. Oh my god, it's packed. Can you believe how busy it is? Hey, Pat, you sure your place can withstand a proper crowd like this? He wouldn't know. Hey, don't make me come over there. But seriously, isn't this amazing? We've grown this into something that a lot of people care about. It felt impossible, but we're actually... doing it? And not just for Repeater, but Too Bright as well. Girl, you will not believe this. Ted told me we received a bunch of anonymous donations, and it's enough money to get us to appeal to get Too Bright registered as a listed building. Dirty landlord Dan won't be able to touch it. I must have done something right, honey, because I'm feeling blessed. Nothing can stop us now. Sorry to interrupt, but have either of you seen the two ladies of the hour? You mean Willow and Morgan? They're not here? Bingo. They missed sound check, which, to be fair, isn't that unusual for them. I'll, try and call them again. I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. Hey, you two. Oh, hey, Abby Patty. How's our little starlet doing? Awful. I just can't stop thinking I've made a terrible mistake. I should have gone on tour managing Girl Junk. Look at all these people. What was I thinking supporting becoming Violet solo? That's crazy. Abby, honey, darling, you're amazing. You're glorious. You're radiant. You need to get your shit together. But Paul, I'm scared. Hey, don't worry about all that. You just need to embrace the call of the stage. The call that led you to this moment. If you listen to your heart, the rest will follow. Isn't that a line from the film Miss Muffin and the Singing Cupcakes? It totally is. Yeah, it totally is. Well, yeah, maybe. But the point is, no, I get it. Ha, that was so ridiculous. I actually feel better. Thank you, Hank. Thanks to you all of you. Phew, okay, I'm gonna go get ready. Aw, look at you, Hank. You've become a wise old punk daddy. Thanks. That's a good thing, right? Okay. Big, Slim, and Kid, we got a problem. I still can't get a hold of either Golden Girl. Wait, what? What are we gonna do? We can't have a fundraiser for Becoming Violet if there's no Becoming Violet. Shit. Should I put on a wig and pretend to be Morgan? I've got a wig in the back. Hank, breathe, honey. I'm sure there's a perfectly good reason why our boss would choose to be fashionably late to a fundraiser we have spent every waking hour this past month putting together that dangles in the balance our community and livelihoods. Oh my god, where are they? The crowd's getting a little restless in there. Is everything okay? Everything's fine. Let's not panic. Morgan and Willow are missing. What? Should I recite Robert Pollard lyrics to keep them entertained? No. Sorry, no. We need music. We have music. Right, Abby? Bill, I'm ready. You got this, Riot Girl. Yes, Abbylicious, it's up to you, girl. Alright, sounds like a plan. Come on then, kiddo. Time to shine. You got this, Abby! Yeah! Wait, do we get to hear Abby too? Here I go. Wish me luck. Good luck, girl. Paul, you're not supposed to actually say good luck. It's break a leg. Nuh-uh. I don't do curses. Only blessings, honey. Guys, she's about to start. Arg, let's go. Ready or not, showtime. Performing solo for the first time. Give it up for Repeater's very own Abby Elliott Tharp. Yay, and I don't have to control the sounds this time.
Looking back over the days, weeks, months, years, and maybe I'm happy, but maybe something's missing. So if I want to clear my head, and I have some things I need to ask myself, like who am I when I'm not watching life from the sidelines? So when will I play the main role in my own little life? How can I find a way to fit these pieces together? I've got time.
Why, this is so sad.
I think I've got time.
Genuinely so sad.
Got time to make up my mind.
Oh shit. Huff, huff. We just caught the end of Abby. Phew, that was something, which means we aren't late, right? Huh. I'm too old for this. Morgan, you came. Worried I'd do a runner on ya? Huh? Fair. Well, it's never a good show without a little bit of drama. Morgan, we were worried. Yeah, we figured you might have lost your nerve. Ha! I've never missed a single show that I've said I'd play. Except for Birmingham 85. Sigh. Okay, except for Birmingham 85. But, what the hell actually happened? We had an unexpected house call. Hello? Where did I leave my bloody keys? I'm late enough as it is. Okay. Well, well. Tell me you're getting cold feet. Listen, asshole. Not that it's your business, but I'm just locking up. Then I'm going to the gig. So you're serious about going ahead with this mockery? Becoming Violet reunion without me? What, was it supposed to sting? Wound me? It's not supposed to do anything, other than hopefully give me enough cash to not have to stare at your greased up face anymore. Very well. Then I'll pay you not to play. I'm sorry, what? I'll pay you. You don't play, and I get your store, but you get to run away with a handout, unburdened. It isn't quite as satisfying as I would have liked, but given the stakes I have gotten a little riskier, I'm willing to compromise. Are you out of your goddamn mind? The only reason we're in this mess is because of you. And now you want to pay me off to save face? I despise you, Morgan. I've nurtured a dislike for you long before you even shunted my rock and roll lifestyle over a woe is me writer's block and unsufferable sibling bickering. But I'm a pragmatist at heart, so I'm willing to settle. You sure that ginger hair dye isn't dripping into your brain? Because look, I get it. I get it. Time alone doesn't necessarily fix all wounds. And I have been, and can still be, a shit. Granted. I'll never not regret these years wasted not having Willow in my life. But what you're talking about? James, you have money. Get a therapist. Go running. Or I don't know, take some friggin' POA. Write a damn journal. I don't care. Just get the hell out of my shop and do it far away from me. But I know Morgan. But I know you, Morgan. I know you want to run. Oh, no, James. You don't know me. You haven't known me for over 25 years. The me you're holding on to, she's in your head. It's time to move on, buddy. Fuck you, Morgan. Don't you psychoanalyze me. This little show of yours won't save the day. I was trying to do you a favor. Instead, I'll destroy you and be happier for it. James, enough. Just stop already. I was wondering when you were going to show your face. I can't believe you let Morgan worm her way back in. Listen to yourself. Aren't you tired? Isn't it exhausting holding on to all of this? I can't stomach it anymore. What are you saying? You know what I'm saying. We've all been hanging on to stuff we should have let go a long time ago. It's time we, all of us, moved on. Ha, sure, I get it. What now? You have your sister back? You don't need me? Well, I don't need you. Not when I have play... Amy. I won't need you old crones when I can have... No, James. I fired Thomas, and I never signed the contract. It's done. Grr. No. No, 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 no. I'm the alpha here. Ooh, ew, 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 ew. I'll say when it's the... Dude, what are you even saying? Just go. Please, James. Shh. We both know you won't make enough money. This isn't over. Goddamn McIntyres. Well, there he goes. God, do we share a terrible taste in men. You gonna be okay? I will be. And in time, I hope you will be too. But today isn't. And was never about him. Let's go play the shit out of this song, sis. Hell yeah, you got it. Sis. Oh my god. So maybe I might have opened a whole can of worms and made everything worse. Or maybe, just maybe, I have start a brighter tomorrow. Huh, listen to you. Morgan! Oh, thank God. I was worried I was gonna have to go up instead. Hank, what is that on your head? Pat, I see them. Then tell them to hurry up. We're supposed to be starting in 2. Morgan, where have you been? Oh, and Willow, always a pleasure to see you, darling. Morgan, you have to get up there. I had to fight this monstrosity from going in your place. Hey, I thought I looked beautiful. Wait, is that Liney? Linny? Don't let her see me like this. Ahem. Well, let's not keep them waiting any longer. Showtime, sis. Wait, I'm Willow. It's killing me. I gotta know. Did you asking me, did I read a scrappy zine about the plight of an old favorite queer bar? And did it spur me into making some phone calls? Huh, an artist never reveals the sway of their influence, darling. See you on stage more. Oh. Oh my god, I love her so much. Do you think she'd adopt me if I asked? I want to cry. Whoa, Morgan, what are you doing? Pat and Willow are already on stage. Just hyping myself up. Your hard act to follow. You saw? Enough to know you're damn good. Enough. Go and get up there. I want to cry. Thank you, all of you. Don't know what I'd do without you. Yeah, Morgan, just have fun. Yeah, Morgan. Let's go, Morgan. We love you. Oh my god, she's wearing a girl junk tee. Oh. No. This is all so sweet. Oh, I'm supposed to choose the lyrics?
There's this idea that we're supposed to be thick as thieves, but it doesn't come naturally to us. It's always been a balancing act of keeping you close enough to push and pull when I need, 'cause you can really drive me insane. When we were young and racing round the streets, you look back at me and flip me off before you'd run and leave. I've always had to brace for impact, 'cause you love to twist my words into wars and paint me as the enemy, but I'll wave a flag to keep the peace. Oh, me and you, we've got this funny thing we do. We just take it out on each other.
This is so cute.
Oh, yeah, it's true. We got some messy things to work through, but we just can't keep taking it out on each other. Now that we're here, I'm suddenly afraid. Don't want to throw it away. We have this tendency to feel betrayed. We struggle to move on from the past. So letting our lives combine this time, it won't be easy. But I refuse to just walk away. I'd love to say that things will never change. I'd love to say that finally we found our way. We've worked so hard to fix up the past, pushed our egos aside and battled our pride in vain attempts to claw back lost time.
Oh, this is sick. I like how you get to choose the lyrics. That's kind of fun.
What if we never outgrow this? This bittersweet rivalry. Oh, me and you, we got this funny thing we do. We just take it out on each other. Oh, yeah, it's true. We got some messy things to work through, but we just can't keep taking it out on each other.
This is cool. That's all I have to say. I have no words right now. The McIntyre sisters take it. I get to design the new. I do really like these little like rocker picks. So I am gonna do this and just put it there. Cool. I like it. Oh, okay. Good evening. You're watching Live with Clive on Monster Music TV, and boy, do I have a story for you tonight. Tale of sibling strife, reconciliation, iconic lovers scorched and sundered, and the little record store that could against a tech giant. Yes, the return of 80s dream pop sensation and cult legend Becoming Violet proved to still contain some bottled up magic, turning a local town fundraiser into national news. But when there are winners, there must also be losers. And James Grenth takes the crown, folks. He gambled big and seems to have come away empty-handed. And with a rumored divorce on the cards, it seems the Press Play CEO put too many eggs in one basket. His ex-flame, Morgan McIntyre, against all odds, raised enough funds to protect her repeated record store. A happy ending, no? Oh, I'm perfectly sure they will all skip and dance into the sunset, right until the bubble bursts with more melodramatic musical pantomime. Because really, what is the music industry, if not the home of fevered narcissism, petty feuds, and ever-encroaching egomania? They need our love, and we love to hate them. The cycle of music drama continues, and Clive Roderson is here for... No. I'm sorry, what is happening? There's some small child in the studio. You've got it wrong. Music isn't about the showy stuff. It's not about the big colors, fame, and glory. It's the electricity you feel when you hear a rhythm beating through your body, the adrenaline of playing with roaring guitars as you jam out with friends. Music is the connection of people. With that connection in song, we can change anything. Get her out of here. Hit it. I'm Rothio from Patati Games. I was creative technical director on Waxheads. Shut up. I'm Murray. Entertainment by Gang of Four, Tim by The Replacements, and Untrue by Burial. Wow. I love that they all made their own characters. Gina. I was composer on Waxheads. Peripheral Vision by Turnover. Remember by... And of course, I Still Love You by Darwin Dees. Hey, I'm Javi. I did programming on Waxheads, and I recommend Devil Came to Me by Dover. All is violent, all is bright by God is an astronaut. Melindy, I did writing on Waxheads. By Janelle Monáe, Mountainhead by Everything Everything, and Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. A classic. Oh, mine. I did puzzle design on Waxheads. Actually, I think I'm... Is this the same person? Hang on, hold up. Yeah, it is. Oh my god. So this is the person. Mari actually follows me on Blue Sky. She does. She was the one who I believe reached out to me about the puzzle game showcase like a couple years ago, the Cerebral Puzzle Showcase. So that's so cool that she got to work on this game. Clancy by 21 Pilots, a classic. Lucid Dreams by Boy With You, and Little Dark Age by MGMT. Great album. Let me see what this one is about. If I remember this. Is Boy With You who I'm thinking of? Yep, absolutely. Lucid Dreams. Did I listen to this one all the way? I don't know if I listened to this one all the way through, but I have listened to quite a few Boy With You songs. Let me see if I have anything saved. Is that why? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Great songs. We were literally talking about 21 Pilots at the beginning of the stream. Hey, I'm Matt. I was an artist on Waxheads. Plastic Beach by the Gorillas. Reptilians by Starfucker. And Mercurial World by Magdalena Bay. Great. Also albums. Good choices. Artist and animator on Waxheads. I recommend. I've never heard of any of those albums before, but that's sick. Wow. I'm sure you've heard of Dvorak. I'm sure I probably have. I'm just being.
Okay, I messed up. One more.
I just don't think I. Oh, wait. I didn't realize it was orchestral music. Yes. I'm pretty sure I've played some Dvorak. I just didn't recognize the name. From my parents' hometown. Wow. I never clicked on that computer thing. Can I go back to look around? Pinwich. Take it. Wow, you can see like the artists as well too. Oh my god, the amount of music that Gina had to make? Holy fudge. Just for this game. Like, they're all original songs, obviously. Holy fudge. Get to see everybody's special things. Oh. Was there an epilogue? I'm gonna be... Oh, it was so good. I love that album. I loved it. Here's the problem. I didn't get all the achievements. I don't know if I ever will. Play the ukulele? How do you get this one? Uh-oh. Now I'm looking at all the achievements. It says play the ukulele. I don't know how to do that. Buy 10 wild kindness items. Oh, I never went back to that, did I? I never played the video game either. Offer rejected record twice. Unlock all achievements in the game, and then there's 5 hidden achievements, so. I realized I never. Wait, go back in. Hold up. I never went back through and bought more items. Oh, shoot. No. Back to main menu. Did you watch all the weird VHS tapes? No, because I didn't get the other cabinet locks. How would you do that?
You spend your days
Load game.
repeating the same phrase.
Okay, let me see if I got this
Over
one.
and over again. Will you ever make it to the end?
Let me just do this.
And those mistakes
No. Back.
staring you
New
in
game?
the face.
No.
But when you look
Escape. Save game. Slot 2. Yes. Back to main menu.
you spend your
Yeah, that's fine. I already have a finished save. The wax packed codes. I didn't look at. There was 2 more, or at least 2 or 3 more that I missed. Okay. Let me on. We're buying everything now. Okay, we got more. We'll have to buy. Then we'll keep saving. Okay. Better save system after rolling the credits, yeah. Yeah, like I don't know how far I am gonna have to go back to get the other ones. The other Wax Pact members. Okay. Save game. There we go. The ukulele is in the staff room? Oh. My bad. I'll have to go back there. I was just trying to buy as much of that stuff as I could so that we could hopefully get a future one there. But there we are. Alrighty, y'all. We finished it. So very excited and happy about that we got to finish Wax Heads. Honestly, a beautiful game. I feel like the message was really sweet. And I don't know, it's got a special little place in my heart. That was very sweet. Very, very sweet. So, maybe we'll go back in. I might go back and get all achievements, probably offline. Because I would just be like clicking through. And not really doing a lot of the story stuff. So, But yeah. I am assuming this person is staying live. I can't tell. We're gonna go rate Stella.
Ah oui. This is so beautiful.
Stella is playing Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I don't know if you could tell by the French accent that is casually playing in the background.
Something is coming.
But there is our raid messages. Thank you all so much for joining me. As I mentioned previously, they're Wednesday for sure.
Cool.
We're gonna do a slow version of Blueprints Bingo.
Okay, I'm
A
scared.
slow walkthrough of it. Because I'm still learning special things, okay? So we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't go well, then we'll stop, and I will learn probably a bit offline, but who knows. But otherwise, don't forget to copy and paste the raid messages, because we love to go and spread the love on more people. I will be live again on Wednesday. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening, a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you all very, very soon. Goodbye!
Right. Okay, what the fuck? Stop. Oh no. Shit.